These flowers must be perfect. Today is a special day. Elena Vasquez smiled at her customer. In her hands were pink roses, white lilies, and purple orchids, each one carefully selected, every petal in place. "This will be the most beautiful bouquet for your daughter's wedding," Elena said softly. The customer thanked her with tears and left. Elena continued arranging the flowers. Every movement precise, measured, perfect. Anyone watching from outside would see only a passionate florist. But Elena's hands weren't trained just to arrange flowers. 12 years ago, these hands were disarming IEDs in Iraq, bomb disposal expert, IED, explosive ordnance disposal, 183 bombs, 183 lives saved, 0 mistakes, until the 184th bomb nearly cost her everything. Now, she just sold flowers. Safe, peaceful, harmless, or so she thought, because the bank down the street was being robbed right now. And in the robber's escape plan, there was a bomb, right next to Elena's shop. But wait, Elena's story isn't just about bombs. This is a story about a woman escaping trauma, being forced to face danger again, and what happens when the skills she tried to forget become necessary to save lives. If you love discovering the extraordinary past of ordinary people, don't forget to subscribe right now. Hit that like button and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Now, let's dive into Elena's real story. Petal Stem Flower Shop stood in downtown Denver on 16th Street. Small, charming, always filled with the scent of fresh flowers. Elena Vasquez had opened this place 12 years ago. After leaving the military, Elena was 42 years old, dark brown hair, always in a low ponytail, green eyes, kind but watchful, her hands constantly moving, cutting, arranging, watering flowers. Her customers loved her. Elena created perfect combinations for every bouquet. Weddings, funerals, birthdays. The right flowers for every occasion. Nobody knew her real expertise was something completely different. In Elena's small house, in the garage, there was a lockbox. Inside, old EOD badges, bomb disposal equipment manuals, and a photograph. In the photo, 30-year-old Elena stood in heavy protective gear beside a bomb in Baghdad. The bomb neutralized. Children playing in the background. Alive. That woman was still inside her. But Elena was trying to forget her. Today was Tuesday morning, 9:15 a.m. Elena was preparing a wedding bouquet. The door chimed. 2 men entered, both in suits, but something was wrong. The suits too tight, ties too loose, and most importantly, a bulge under the left man's jacket. Gun. Elena's pulse didn't change. She'd learned this 12 years ago. Panic brings death. Calm saves lives. "Welcome," Elena said, smiling. "How can I help you?" The first man looked around, checked for security cameras, looked out the window. "Just browsing," he said. The second man approached Elena. "Nice shop. Do you work alone?" "Yes," Elena said. "Just me?" The man nodded. "Good. Very good." Then they both left. Elena watched them from a window. They entered the bank 2 doors down. First National Bank. Small branch. Usually quiet. Elena looked at her phone. She could call 911, but she had no proof. Just a feeling, an instinct. And there was one thing she'd learned in EOD. Trust your instinct, because it can save your life. Elena continued arranging flowers, but her eyes were on the bank at 10:30 a.m. The bank manager ran into Elena's shop. His face was pale, hands trembling. "Elena, call the police. The bank is being robbed." Elena immediately called 911. "Robbery, First National Bank, 16th Street. Units are on the way," the operator said. "Stay away from the building." But when Elena looked out the window, she noticed something. One of the robbers was placing a bag at the bank's back door. Carefully, precisely. Then he set a timer. Elena's blood ran cold. Bomb. It was a bomb. Improvised, but real. And the timer showed 15 minutes. The robbers would escape. When the bomb exploded, police couldn't follow them because the block would be buried in chaos. But the bomb wouldn't just hit the bank. The blast radius would include Elena's shop, and the 30 customers in the cafe next door, and the daycare across the street. Elena calculated. Police arrive in 5 minutes. Bomb disposal team in 20 minutes. The bomb would explode in 15 minutes. The math was simple. People would die. Elena watched the bomb from the window. A world she left 12 years ago. A danger she'd escaped 12 years ago. But the 184th bomb had nearly killed her. She still had ringing in her right ear. Still had nightmares at night. And she'd sworn, never again. But now, looking out the window, she saw the children at the daycare, the families at the cafe, and she remembered 183 bombs. 183 times she'd made the right decision. Maybe she could make it one more time. Elena gathered her courage, took a deep breath, then walked out of the shop toward the bomb bag. "Stop. What are you doing?" the bank manager shouted. "Get inside," Elena said. "Evacuate everyone. Quietly. No panic. But you? Go." Elena's voice was command tone. The man ran. Elena crouched beside the bomb. Opened the bag. Inside, a simple IED. Cell phone trigger. C for explosive, nails for shrapnel. Amateur work, but deadly. Timer, 13 minutes 22 seconds. Elena's hands trembled slightly, then stopped. Muscle memory kicked in. 12 years had passed, but her hands remembered everything. First rule, isolate the power source. Elena examined the phone. Wires connected to the C4. But which wire? Red? Blue? Wrong wire equals instant detonation. Elena closed her eyes. Remembered. In Iraq, a similar bomb. Similar structure. Red wire was the decoy. Blue wire was the real trigger. But was she certain? It was 12 years ago. Could she be wrong? Timer, 11 minutes 8 seconds. Elena pulled out scissors. The scissors she used for flower arranging. Sharp, precise. She cut the blue wire. The bomb went silent. The timer stopped. Elena breathed for the first time in 2 minutes. But then she heard a second sound. Tick, tick, tick. A second timer. Hidden. Backup. They weren't professionals, but they were smart. Timer 2. 3 minutes. Elena's heart raced. This bomb was different, more complex. And 3 minutes wasn't enough. At that moment, she heard sirens. Police. Approaching. Pull back. Elena shouted, "There's a second bomb." But the police cars were close. 200 meters. 100 meters. If the bomb exploded, it would kill them too. In Elena's mind, the 184th bomb flashed, exploded, injured her team. Elena had lost her left ear, and since that day, she'd sworn never again. But now she had a choice. Run. Save yourself. Others die. Or stay. Neutralize the bomb. Maybe everyone dies. Elena looked at her flower scissors, then at the bomb, then at the children in the daycare, and she knew there was no real choice. Timer, 2 minutes 10 seconds. Elena took a deep breath, looked inside the bomb. The second timer was more hidden, concealed behind the plastic case, and the wires, completely different. This time, there were 3 wires, red, blue, green. Which one? Elena tried to remember. Every lesson from training, every bomb in Iraq. Red equals power, blue equals trigger, green equals... She'd never seen a green wire before. Timer, 1 minute 30 seconds. Police cars had stopped. Officers were evacuating people from the building, but they were close, too close. Elena felt the bomb with her hand, sensed a slight vibration. Was a green wire vibrating? No. Wait, the vibration wasn't in the wire. It was in the plastic case. Elena lifted the case. Underneath, a third device. Motion sensor. If the bomb moves, it detonates instantly. Elena's world slowed down. Now she understood. This bomb wasn't designed to be moved. It was designed to kill whoever tried to disarm it. Timer, 45 seconds. Elena's options were gone. She couldn't move the bomb. She couldn't cut the wires. She didn't know which was correct. And in 45 seconds, everyone would die. At that moment, a florist's simplest tool came to mind: water. Elena ran to the shop, grabbed a large watering bucket, 5 gallons of water, ran back, poured it over the bomb. Water seeped into the electronics. Short-circuited. The timer flickered. Then stopped. Timer, 007. 7 seconds remained. Elena collapsed to the ground. Her hands were shaking. Tears streamed down her cheeks. But the bomb didn't explode. Police and the bomb disposal team arrived 5 minutes later. They safely transported the bomb. FBI agent Morrison approached Elena, file in hand. "Elena Vasquez," he said loudly, "former EOD specialist, 183 bombs disarmed. Iraq, Afghanistan, Medal of Valor." The surrounding police and civilians turned. This quiet florist was actually a war hero. "Why didn't you tell anyone?" Morrison asked. Elena looked at the daycare. Children were hugging their parents. They were safe, alive. Because that life was over, Elena said quietly, "I just wanted to sell flowers." Morrison nodded. "What you did today saved 47 lives." "I know," Elena said. "I'm counting." 2 weeks later, Elena's shop was filled with customers. Everyone wanted to see her, thank her, but Elena just continued arranging flowers. Every movement precise, every petal in place. Because both bombs and flowers taught the same principle. Life is fragile. It must be handled with care. And every detail matters. One of the children from the daycare came with her mother. A little girl gave Elena a drawing. "I drew you," the girl said, "as an angel." In the drawing, Elena stood with wings, a flower in one hand, in the other, a bomb. Elena couldn't hold back her tears. "I'm not an angel, sweetheart," she said. "Yes, you are," said the girl's mother. "You saved my daughter's life." Elena hung the drawing on her shop wall. She looked at it every day and remembered, some skills never die. They just sleep until the world needs them. If there's one thing to learn from this story, it's this: you can't run from your past, but you can use it for good. And sometimes the skills you try to forget are the skills most needed. Don't forget to subscribe to Invisible Legends. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment. We love hearing from our viewers around the world.